I'm Dr. Shalini Nair from Usmania General Hospital. My guide and moderator is Dr. Lakshmi.
I think all the PGs, at least when they're introducing, they must show their face so that when we meet you in the conference or otherwise, it is very good because in the exam also you're going to see each other. So there is no, I think you should develop this confidence of facing the examiners because this is only a sort of sent up exam for you. So please, I wanted to see who you are.
On a lighter note, Dr. Ravi might be your examiner.
See, that is actually I wanted to comment this
Yeah, I
only that
understand. Perfectly fine. Yeah.
if I have seen you and I have impressed with you, or even if I am depressed with you, how it matters. But you are going to be a consultant. It is a question of time. See, I am
Yeah.
born 30 years ahead of you, so I am 54, and you are 33. So it's a question of time. But you are a consultant. I believe I take all my resident as a consultant. But when it comes to teaching, you are my student, I am your teacher. But when it comes to the off the track, we are always colleagues. So please introduce yourself. I request all the PGs to at least have a acquaintance of, and even other PGs also would like to know. So can I see you?
Yeah, she's there, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So the instruments which were used mostly in palatoplasty are Dingman's mouth gag, tongue blades, teeth.
So I must tell you when you present equipment is given to you in your hand or otherwise if examiner asks to pick up any equipment of your choice, so you always try to uh, cover it in three parts in the sense first is the must to tell things to the examiner, and then second is the need to know things. By the time you tell must to know things na, actually you are pass. And if you tell need to know things, definitely you don't worry now. And nice to things are those questions which neither you can answer and there is an endless list. So here I would focus more on the must to know and need to know question. What does it mean? Must to know means you should be able to tell the name of the equipment, make of the equipment, features of the equipment, various parts, and then what is the purpose of this equipment. And then need to know means if you are able to narrate actually the steps of that particular equipment being used in that procedure, and sometime you might not have seen that procedure. So here if you have tell must to know, you are already passed because then you can say sir I have never used, I have never seen. How it matters? But then you are already passed. And nice to means all those questions, rare thing will be rarely asked, common thing will be commonly asked. So here let us start with the must to know. So when you take this equipment, first of all I will not stop you. Why? Because let you present your PPT since you have made it all the equipments, and then we will ask you one of the equipment, and then we will have this pattern of description. So you please first finish your PPT.
Angle periosteal elevators and dental scaler. Next slide, please. Mouth gag, it was introduced by Cove Davis in 1924. It's an essential instrument for palate repair. It facilitates opening of the mouth and gives good exposure of the palate and keep endotracheal tube away from the operating field. Next slide, please. Normally what we use is the Dingman's mouth gag. Usually mouth gags are used to keep the mouth open and leave the surgeon's both hands free. See that this Dingman's mouth gag has a rectangular frame and it has tongue blades on either side. No, tongue blades here, which is not put in the photograph. And then alveolar hooks are here. And there are two cheek retractors. And there's a Kilner's suture carrier where you can actually guard the suture, or the threads which are used to retract. Dot's mouth gag is introduced by Norman Dot. It is a C-sized shaped frame, and it has two mobile jaw hooks, which sits on the upper lip, and there is a sliding tongue blade. This is easier and to handle and apply. The difference is that this is C-shaped. It does not completely. The other one is rectangular, which covers both sides. Next slide, please. And there are different types of tongue blades. Normally, the tongue blade has a racket mechanism, which with a slot to secure the endotracheal tube. And they are available in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. And usually to secure the endotracheal tube, 5, 7, and 10. And major modification is a vertical groove and a slot in the middle. Basically, it is modified to fit the endotracheal tube in the best way, and also to sit on the mandible. So Somalad and Dr. Mahendale extended the slot and modified the angulation of tongue blade. Dr. Agarwal and Panda, they fixed 2 metal blocks underneath so that where it comes in contact with the region of the lower jaw. And Ahmed and Malik placed a right angled metal tube in the critical area. Next slide, please. Then are the hockey stick mucoperiosteal elevators. They used for elevation of the mucoperiosteal flaps. Normally the curvature lies in close approximation to the palatine curve. The disadvantage is that of creating holes in the mucoperiosteal flaps. Actually, side identification, normally people use it either way. So if the mostly we use the sharp edge towards the bony palate so that injury to the mucoperiosteal flaps are minimized. And it has to go from lateral to medial side. And this is a dental scaler. One side is sharp edge and the other curved edge. It can be used to elevate the mucoperiosteal flaps and also to separate the nasal mucosa. Next slide, please. Then endotracheal tube used in cleft surgery. Normally there is, because of the tongue blade and the mouth gap, there is a risk of compression to the endotracheal tube. So I had described a T-piece circuit for cleft lip surgery in 1937, and Oxford tube with a right angle curve, it came, but it ran out of, we were not using it anymore. Ring, Adair and the Elvin tube is preferred endotracheal tube with a south pole, and armor tube can also be used with a flexometallic tube inside. REA tube is endotracheal tube of the choice. It sits over the lower jaw with ease under the tongue blade without compression. And it can be with cuff and without cuff. The size calculation is if the child is less than 6 years, age plus 3.5 by 3.5 or the tip of the little finger. More than 6 years, you calculate as 4.5 by 4.5, size of tip of little finger. Next slide. Then palatoplasty steps. Should I proceed or?
Yeah, you have already qualified because you told must to know things like name of the equipment, make of the equipment, features, parts. Now purpose means you will use this equipment, set of equipments for palatoplasty. So now you have come to the need to know. So okay, go ahead.
Yes.
So before we go ahead, can I just stop you? Because
Yes.
I think you mentioned the name of as hockey stick. So I think technically we should not be calling the cleft palate respiratory as hockey stick, though it is shaped like a hockey stick. That is one thing I would like to correct, because this is being seen by residents all over. So hockey stick is, sometimes we loosely use the word with sister. Sister, give me hockey stick, but exactly it should be called cleft palate respiratory. This should not crystallize into your mind, the hockey stick word. Okay. Just I wanted to correct. Please carry on.
In
Other than the
palatoplasty,
procedure, I think, do you have any other instruments to show in the palate group? No.
no, I have not put any other instruments. These are all.
And another correction is in your slide you mentioned REA tube.
Yes,
It
it is
is RAE. Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Just to be correct, RAE. You mentioned ring, Adair, Elvin, but it is RAE tube. Okay. Fine. That is the common nomenclature which is used. I think Dr. Ravi is supposed to conduct
Yeah, later
this particular bit.
because these slides I request Madam Lakshmi to share with everyone, because it is almost like a crisp presentation which will be useful for everyone, except the if there is any deficiency which, like Dr. Atul has pointed out, can be rectified. But it is a good information that she has collected,
Yeah.
and at the end of this, all these slides I think should be given to all the PGs. They can also go through it and it will help them. So
Yes,
please
sir.
go ahead. Yeah.
It will
Yes,
be
ma'am.
uploaded in YouTube, sir.
Very good. So you please rectify this minor mistake which
Okay,
you
sir.
might not
Okay,
be
sir.
aware, which Dr. Atul has told. Now go ahead with the next part of the presentation, that is need to know means the step of the procedure. So palatoplasty steps.
So the patient is kept in supine position with neck, Trendelenburg position, and then the mouth gag is kept inside the mouth with the alveolar strut on the upper jaw, and usually it is kept in the closed position, and once you pull the tongue blade, then the mouth opens to the maximum. And where the way you find out whether it is adequate or not is you see the corner of the mouth for blanching. So that is the point where you stop the opening of the mouth gag, and then the mouth gag is fixed. Then you put a throat pack. Throat pack is applied mostly to prevent leakage of gases. Then adrenal saline injection is given. Sorry, it is 0.05% of lignocaine with 1 in 2 lakhs adrenaline in 200 ml of normal saline. This is mostly hemostatic, then relief of pain, and also to elevate the mucoperiosteal flaps. So you inject all throughout as much to elevate the alveolar margin and underneath the mucoperiosteal flap, so that the mucoperiosteal flaps are elevated. Then first incision you give around the cleft margin. Usually cleft surgeons operate with both hands. So right side is done with the left hand and left side done with the right hand. And incision is made along the cleft margin. Then you make the other incision, that the alveolar incision, and then you try to raise the mucoperiosteal flaps. So once the mucoperiosteal flaps are elevated, they can be lengthened by dissecting around the greater palatine vessels. You have to visualize the vessels, protect them, and then try to dissect around the vessel so that you get more length to the mucoperiosteal flaps. And then the nasal layer is separated, and muscles are separated from the cleft because they have abnormal origin. They are attached to abnormal insertion. They are attached to the cleft margin. So you separate them from the cleft margin, and then first you close the nasal layer. Usually it is done with the 40 vicryl, and the sutures should come inside the nostril. And then you close you should close the muscle layers, and last is the mucoperiosteal flaps are closed. Then next you remove the
Dr. Shalina, in case I can interrupt, actually, then we won't be able to cover the instruments. So, do you have any further instruments in palate group to present?
No, I don't have any.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any. No, I have not put any other instruments.
Okay, okay. So, can we go back to the instrument photograph?
Go to first slide.
Yeah, this one. Next one.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Dr. Ravi, would you like to ask any questions regarding this instrument?
Yes. Now, since you were covering even the procedure step also, but remember in the exam you have to you will not be given a slide to speak. You will have to mug up the steps as a practice, and then you have to tell. So when you are telling all the equipments, and if some of the, because examiner may ask you, please assemble all the equipments which you need for palatoplasty. So suppose particular equipments are not there, you can always mention, sir, I would like to have this, I would like to have that, I would like to have. So first you make the examiner will ask you how you will arrange a trolley. So your set of equipment should be totally narrated in case it is not mentioned here. One thing. And second thing, when you are telling the steps,
Yes.
in the even the steps also you have to be very careful, especially when you after the position, whether the incision you are going to start from uvula to anterior palate or from anterior palate to reverse, what is its significance. And then tongue stitch, you did not tell whether the tongue stitch should be taken or not. Then once you complete the procedure, don't forget to tell that pack has to be removed. And then you have to tell that a hand restraint has to be applied, and then you have to tell, don't stop it at the procedure only till the on table. You have to tell, I will not descrub till the tube is extubated. So why? Because the examiner wants to know that tomorrow if you are going to do it, what are uh, the carefulness or the precautions you are going to take for the safety of the patient. So that is very important. And then when you say, I will give the infiltration, so you said 7 minutes. Why 7 minutes? Why not 3 minutes? Why not 10 minutes?
Because we are
What
giving
what is vasomotor effect of Dale?
Not sure.
So here first we allow you to speak what you know, and then examiner will ask you many things which is totally limitless. In especially, and remember, in the procedure wise, all your examiners are Indians. So try to tell the Indian contribution in that particular procedure, or the equipment, like you have told Dr. Karun, Dr. Panda, Dr. So like that, remember, just for your information for all the PGs, these examiners are not coming from abroad. They are from India only, and they have been seeing it. So you please make a one uh, slide or a points in your mind that I must tell, and I'm mentally prepared. So suppose any other Indian contribution, examiner asks you, what are the other contribution of Indian plastic surgeon in palatoplasty or in the palate reconstruction?
Dr. Mukherjee, the buccal flaps by Dr. Mukherjee.
Okay, very good, very good. Any other contribution? What is the contribution of Dr. K.S. Guleria? So now we are going on the Viva question. So Viva question means it is a unlimited. You can continue to ask, because these equipments are must to know topics like skin grafting. So we can ask as many as question, but I am giving you the hint what is expected in your your exam, that Indian contribution you must know, and all the steps should be very careful. And suppose I ask you practical questions just to know whether you have assisted or observed or operated or not. When you are waiting for 7 minutes, why you are waiting? Suppose you are making an incision, you will start your incision from fixed to mobile structure or mobile to fixed structure. So would you like to make an incision after infiltration from uvula to anterior palate?
Uvula to the anterior end of the cleft.
So you mean to say from uvula to the anterior part of the palate? Because each step has yes.
What the other way around? It will go from the cleft margin to the uvula, from the fixed.
Okay. So that is what I am asking. You are going from the anterior part of the palate to the posterior last part, that is uvula. That is what you are saying, isn't it?
Yes.
Why? Why not to go from uvula to the anterior part of the? Why not to go? What is the practical point, or what is the reason you started from the margin and then you went to the?
Because the incision we are making between the nasal layer and the mucosal, means oral mucosa. So we are more clear where we put the.
No, you please remember that patient is with the neck extended, and so when you make a single cut, also the blood trickles. So when you make incision anteriorly, the blood trickles towards the uvula. So what happens is you are obstructing your view. Whereas when you cut the uvula first and go anteriorly towards the anterior part of the palate, so blood is trickling toward where you have already cut. It doesn't block your vision. So always remember, although practically we don't see, we do even pairing of the margin and then we start raising the mucoparietal flap and then we do. But these are the small important points which examiner may ask you, which should be very clear. Suppose bleeding starts on table, bleeding starts and BP is falling and gush of blooding started, then what you will do? There is a bleeding and you are not able to control the bleeding, and the baby is the anesthetist is telling, sir, the BP is falling, there is a tachycardia, you have to stop the surgery. So what you will do now?
So we put adrenal saline compression and wait, because we have just made the incision. So we have not damaged any major vessels. So it should be
Usually the pairing of the margin and incision time, it is a superficial bleeding which you can always cauterize. You can always spray the adrenaline diluted solution. But the question arises when you were going near the pedicle, and there are minor pedicle and there are the major pedicle. So by chance you have damaged the one of the major vessel and now bleeding is torrential. So then what you will do? Have you come across, have you seen, or have you read?
No, I have not seen a major pedicle being damaged.
So that is why this question answer is unlimited. I can ask you many questions and it will continue to go. But you have done wonderfully the presentation of the equipment, name and other features. And I think there are lot of questions. Otherwise, we will continue. What are the aims of your palatoplasty? What is your aim? What you are keeping in your mind when you do the palatoplasty? What is your objectives? Examiner can ask you theoretically.
First is the patient has a cleft palate, so palatoplasty is to cover the cleft, then to lengthen the palate so that speech, when the patient speaks, the palate touches then only the phonation will.
So you can say in one word, functional repair. Sir, one of the objective will be functional repair. Second, watertight closure. Third, I should try to leave minimal raw areas. So these are the bare minimum objective. You should keep it, and if possible, tension-free suturing. Because these are the 3 or 4 point must adhere, irrespective of type of palatoplasty repair you have chosen according to the particular case. When do you use microscope?
If we are doing intervillar veloplasty, we can do it under the microscope to separate the muscles.
Yes,
And
Somerled has given beautifully this concept that when you are trying to do intervillar veloplasty, please try to use at least loop or at least if microscope you are aware, try to use that also. And so pre-operatively, intraoperatively, how you will manage post-operatively, what position you will give, and then what are the problems which can arise immediate post-operatively. So all these things are, so many questions are there, because I can ask you, probably it will be a theoretical question answers, but this much is must actually, minimum you must tell all these points, otherwise grafting, palate equipments, they will not let you go like this. Okay, I think we can go to the next set of equipment, otherwise it will take because already it is 7:05. There is What do you say, Madam Lakshmi?
Okay,
Otherwise, I think everybody can ask one question. It will be so many questions.
sir.
Dr. Atul is already
Dr. Atul?
Dr. Atul is already looking very eager to
No,
ask.
no. I was just wondering. Yeah. So actually, I'll just enumerate few questions. We may not discuss them regarding
Yeah.
the
Okay.
instrument per se. The commonest questions which are asked in relation to the Dingman is, would you use cheek retractors? Answer is no. Currently, we don't use. Why would you use suture carrier? Why there is a groove in the tongue blade? And why the tongue blade has a central hole?
What is to see
How
the
about,
endotracheal?
yeah,
No,
yeah, that's
please note down the questions.
Oh, yes.
Now
Yes.
just listen.
so.
What are the important
How would you come to know that the child is retaining carbon dioxide? All these questions are which is usually asked. And in case you don't pack the oral cavity or the oropharynx, what will happen? Will the child aspirate? The answer is no. Why?
No.
You need to find out.
Okay,
Okay, these are few questions. So I think with these we can move on to the next group of instruments. I
What is
think Dr.
laser
Kapadia
assisted?
is going to
What is
lead the next group also.
laser assisted palatoplasty, endoscopic assisted palatoplasty?
I'm just
Do
telling
you know?
because the
Do
resident
you
will be
know?
and another important thing is the hold the complete instrument in the way you will hold it on the table. Don't keep on taking all the parts and keep on pointing to the examiner. Once you hold it in the way you hold it in OT, your body language will tell the examiner that you have really assisted the surgeries or done those surgeries, and he will not ask any further question. Okay. So I think we can move to the next group of instruments.